So hi guys, welcome back to my channel QA Warriors, and today we are seeing one of the important topic of manual testing, that is SDLC. It is also one of the topic that is asked in ISTQB certification examination, that is SDLC. So let's look into the SDLC in details. So SDLC, what actually it is a process involved in the creation or the development of a software. Okay, so you can see here there are various stages that is involved in the development of a software for delivering a high quality product. So it's not like that I have asked you to create a software or a website. I have asked you to create a website. You just created the website, and without doing proper testing, without understanding the proper requirement, you developed that website for me. Without proper testing, you provided that website for me. For example, if I have asked you to create a website for booking a vehicle, just similar to Zoom Car or like Vogo or Bounce, you have created that application or website for me, but you have not understood the full requirement what I actually want. I means the client. Okay, so let's understand all the phases of the software development in details. So it's very important to understand or adhere to the SDLC process, which leads to the development of the software. Why it is SDLC is important? SDLC is very important to deliver a high quality product, because once you have created a website for me, I have launched that website, and now when the actual customer goes to the website and they are facing many challenges, like they are not able to book the bikes, they are not able to make payment, they are not able to schedule the bike, right? So all those kinds of challenges comes when the testing is not done or the requirement is not understood correctly. Okay. Now, SDLC has many phases like requirement gathering, designing, coding, testing, maintenance. So we will see all the phases of SDLC in details one by one. Now, let me give you an example. So once I have asked a team to create a software for me, so what happens is that one of the developer he decide to design the software first, another one decide to code first, and other one decides to do documentation first. So what will happen in this case, as all the people are doing different works at a time, so this will lead to a project failure. Why? Because without good knowledge and understanding among the team members, you can't deliver a quality product. So now here we can see the SDLC cycle. So you can see in the cycle it starts from here: requirement gathering. Second is designing the software, how the software will look, what all features we require. Third step is implementation and coding. So once the design is available, now the next step is to code or to implement the requirement. Another phase is testing. So once you have developed the software, it needs to be tested in order to make sure that yes, it satisfies the user requirement. Okay, another is deployment. Once the testing is done and from the QA team we get a go ahead that yes, the software is ready to be deployed and it can go live. So then this phase is called as deployment, where the product is deployed into the production environment. Another phase is the maintenance. Maintenance in the sense like once the product is go live, uh, in the maintenance phase, it comes like enhancement also, and also if there is some bug arises. So in that case, the developer team needs to fix those defects. Now let's see. These are the SDLC phases which we discussed: requirement gathering, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Okay, now let's see what exactly is the requirement gathering. So, in the requirement gathering, all the relevant information which is collected from the customer to develop a product as per their expectation is provided. Okay, so now let me tell you that for my app, okay, it's a money transaction app. Okay, so now the requirement has to be very, very clear, like what kind of transaction I want. Whether I want transaction like credit card from debit card, is it from internet banking, is it from the UPI? So what kind of transaction I want, how it will be done, what payment gateway it will contact to complete the transaction. Okay, once the requirement gathering is done, then the analysis is done to check the feasibility of the development. Feasibility in the sense means whatever resources, or resources in the sense like what kind of developer we have, are we capable enough to take this requirement and go ahead and develop that product. So this is called the feasibility study. Now, once the requirement is clearly understood, the SRS document is created. SRS document in the sense it can also be understood as a BRD, basic requirement document, or software requirement specification. Both are same. So once you have understood the requirement, it's a very good idea to create a document like SRS, and where we note down all the understanding from the development team and get it signed off from the customer. It is generally created in order to make sure that both development team and the customer are on the same phase. Now, second is the design. So what actually happens once you have gathered the requirement? Now you have to develop the software architecture. How you are going to implement the requirement. For example, if there is a requirement to book a ride. So, okay. So now the first thing is that you should have a home page where there should uh, have option to sign up or to log in. Once the user have either signed up or logged in, then user should be navigated to a page where he or she can select the mode of transportation, either two-wheeler or four-wheeler. Once they have selected that, now they have to select to and from the destination where they want to go, from which place. Once that is done, now comes the payment part. So all these kinds of idea needs to be jotted down or noted down into a document that is called the design document, where the navigation and all the software architecture, which table will be used and what databases will be used. So all those kinds of information is note down here in the design phase. Now second is the implementation or the coding phase. Once you have the requirement, you have the design, now comes the coding part or the implementation part. Now once these two phases are complete, now you need a developer who can bring your design into reality. Means what it will do, he will implement the requirement and the design. So the coding part is done in the third phase of the SDLC. Now fourth phase is the testing phase. In the testing phase, once the coding is complete, small modules are released to the tester for testing. So the software is tested thoroughly. Okay. So what the testers will do, the testers will create test cases. They will send the test approach document that what they are going to test for that particular product. Those test approach document should be signed off from the customer in order to make sure that the scope of the testing is fixed. Once that is done, tester starts the testing, and if they found any ambiguity from the requirement, so anything anything that is apart from the requirement should be considered as a defect and should be raised in project management tools like QC or HPLM. Now, also retesting and regression testing is done. Why? If you have raised any defect or if any defect is found, so once that is fixed, you have to retest in order to make sure that whether this bug is fixed or not. Once that bug is fixed, regression testing is done. Regression testing is done in order to make sure that the new functionality has not broken any existing functionality. So that's the reason regression testing is very important at this point. Now, tester refers SRS document in order to make sure that the software is as per the customer expectation and standard. Fifth phase is the deployment phase. So once the product is tested, now there is an environment called UAT environment. It is a replica of the production environment which is created for the customer and the code is deployed in that particular environment. Why it is done? Because before releasing the application or software into the market or before go live, we want to make sure from the customer and also that whether the application is as expected. Once they test the application in the UAT environment and provide the sign off, then that software or the product is ready to go live. Now, sixth phase is the maintenance phase. Once the deployment of any product is done in the production environment, that is the after go live. Now, maintenance will be taken care by the development team. So, if any issues come that needs to be done or any enhancement is to be done is taken care by the developer. So, these are all the six phases of the SDLC. So, hope you all like this video. So, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. We'll come up with some new videos on the manual testing part. Yeah. Thank you.